Hey everyone, Nick Rio,
Sam Battersby.
and today we are filming a Mea-Culpa for our YouTube live experiment that we had yesterday, where we were trying to show you the intricacies of using a coin-op car wash in those scenarios where you find yourself having to use that, and what is the best practice for doing that. We were pretty proud of what we were doing, but after we reviewed the audio and video quality, we decided that we should take it down and maybe go back and describe that process a little bit more succinctly in an environment that we had a little bit more control of.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was tough out there. There were some unknowns, but
It was a nice day in Washington in March. You don't really get those, so for some reason the coin-op car wash was a very popular place to be. And we had a lot of wind and just a lot of people interested in what the heck we were doing. So we're just going to go through that process and kind of tell you, again, what we think about that and answer some of your questions that you submitted before we did that.
so we'll start out with going over the products that we used, and then we'll talk about some of the things that you really want to avoid when you're going to a coin-op car wash, like the brush and so on. But first off, the things that you want to remember to bring if you're going to take your car to a coin-op and want to do it as safely as possible. Of course, your number one is your car wash soap. The soaps at some coin-op car washes may not be exactly what you want to put on your vehicle. It's hard to know what they're using and the quality of it. So bringing your own pH balanced car wash soap will ensure that you're not stripping your wax off or diminishing a protective layer that you have on the exterior of your vehicle. We just use a super concentrated car wash. You don't need a lot of it. Very good product, basically as pure as a car wash can get. This is going to leave nothing behind on your surface. It's simply going to clean really well and preserve your wax or protective coating. And then we brought our heavy duty wheel cleaner and foaming tire cleaner. We were working on a BMW X5 that hadn't been washed for a month or so. Been through a few snowstorms that we had last month, and the wheels were very dirty as well as the rest of the car. As we all know, BMWs dust very heavily, so heavy duty wheel cleaner is exceptionally good on heavy brake dust like you get on BMWs. This will speed up the process for you, make it easier, and save you some time when you're at the coin-op and you don't have a ton of time. And then the foaming tire cleaner is great for quickly cleaning tires, specifically when they're very dirty like they were yesterday. Foam this on, allow it to dwell, agitate if needed, and then pressure rinse it off, and you've got a nice clean tire.
Yeah, we did some preparatory steps and some finishing steps as well. Again, like Sam mentioned, you're generally fighting against time, and when you pull into a coin-op with all of your own supplies, everybody's going to groan. But generally, you're using those coin-ops in less than ideal situations anyway, where nobody's wanting to go wash their car, whether it be wintertime or really hot summer days where you don't have shade in your driveway. That's the beauty of that coin-op. But bringing your own gear is pretty essential. Like Sam said, you don't know the qualities of the soap. Those brushes, they've been washed by, or who knows how many cars have been washed, or if a commercial truck was the last person to use that brush, so you don't want to introduce that. But again, because of the condition of that car, we thought it would be prudent to introduce foaming surface prep diluted at 10:1. We used it in our pump-up foamer. So we had a nice foam that we cast across the entire just hip line and below of the entire X5 to break down some of that extreme dirt buildup. And we're pretty disappointed because when we were filming that, we had great results on the running boards and removing just the excess dirt that if we hadn't done a pre-soak and a high pressure rinse before starting to wash, would have really contributed to wash-induced scratches and made that process less safe. So.
Lots of salt and sand on the surface, which if you would have taken a wash mitt right over that without getting it off first, there definitely would have been wash-induced scratches.
Yeah, so we did an extra preparatory step due to the winter conditions that we were dealing with and trying to remedy there. So that might be overkill for just a routine wash at a coin-op, but in those tough winter conditions, and especially in a place where they salt your roads or you're dealing with snow, a lot of kick up, a lot of dirt, it's just a great way to ensure that. And then the one beautiful thing about the coin-op car washers is that you don't need to bring your pressure washer with you. You generally can count on at least a high pressure water rinse so you can replicate some of that foaming process, again, with a foaming tool such as that pump-up foamer. Lastly, we dried the car with rinseless wash and wax diluted at 15:1 after we had washed the car mechanically. We rinsed off the excess soap and dirt and then sprayed this on the still wet car, rinsed it so as to leave less water on the car when we are going to dry it.
Adds significant protection as well, so that 15:1 as a rinse or drying aid. Use it as you're drying or during the rinsing process. Add some protection, and like Nick said, leave less water on the vehicle to make your drying process much easier.
Yeah. So just to recap everything, we brought car wash to use as our soap to protect our wax, high lubricity. We also brought our microfiber wash pads, heavy duty wheel cleaner. We also brought our own wheel cleaning tools. Now we just got some pretty large format ones because the wheels on that X5 were 5-spoke, big wide barrels. So we got our super long wheel woolies and our large bendable wheel brush. You have a lot of space to work around in those wheels. Again, you're going to pick your wheel cleaning tools based upon what you like to use cleaning your wheels. But if you use that brush, A, you can risk damaging a sensitive wheel finish, and B, you're not going to get nooks and crannies. I mean, that thing's about 8 inches wide. So
half the time you pull in and the brush is sitting on the ground anyways, which you obviously don't want to pick that up and take it to anything on your car.
Yeah.
So.
And then the other thing that we're not displaying here, we had 2 wash buckets. One of the buckets we used for our wheel cleaning tools to rinse them in between wheels. The other one we used as our soap and water mixture for when we did the mechanical washing of the car with the wash pads.
And then lastly, a good solid dry towel. We used our XL PFM. Nick and I each had one, but one of these will easily dry a large SUV or truck without leaving streaks behind. They're very simple and easy to use. Best way to do it is to just lay it flat on all your vertical surfaces and drag it right across. Awesome towel, but a dry towel is essential at a coin op because you don't want to leave. You know, who knows whether the water is filtered or not and what the hardness is at the coin op car wash, specifically if you're in the Midwest or you know, in an area that has harder water. You definitely want a dry towel so you're not leaving and letting that water dry on your car and risk water spots.
Yeah, and one really important thing, again, we kind of covered all our bases with regards to a routine wash and then covered some of the conditions we were dealing with. However, again, to reiterate the couple benefits of the coin op. One, you've got a safe space to wash your car, free of any grimaces from your neighbors, free from direct sunlight and high heat conditions, and generally protected in the winter conditions as well. Secondly, you've got that high pressure rinse, but the biggest question we got from all of you is about the soap and then the post and pre-treatment. So you want to talk about the pre-soak?
Yeah, absolutely. The pre-soaks, which is one reason we brought our foaming surface prep, so we can control what we're using as a pre-soak. A lot of the pre-soaks that are used in car washes are either very, very highly alkaline or very acidic. They're intended to get as much off of the car before you wash it as possible. Some of them will even advertise that that's all you need to use, spray that on and then rinse it off. Those 9 times out of 10 are gonna either drastically diminish or completely strip your wax. Like Nick mentioned earlier, using a product like foaming surface prep isn't gonna be necessary during a routine wash unless the vehicle is very dirty. But this product diluted at 10:1 normally will not strip wax in one application, so it'll preserve your protective finish a little better than what may be at the car wash, but it's still going to do a very, very good job of cleaning off those heavy abrasive contaminants and residues that may be a little more resistant to a standard car wash soap. And again, the X5 we were washing hadn't been washed for over a month, had been driven through snowstorms, de-icer, road salt, the whole bit. So we wanted to make sure that we got as much of that abrasive off prior to touching the car to avoid any wash-induced scratches.
Yeah. Likewise, the other thing that we see a lot of is these rainbow-colored foams. This really enjoyable experience for someone that may not enjoy the car washing experience like us or you all on the other end of this video. So just keep that in mind. You know, you put a couple quarters in this thing, you're paying for your water, your soap, your wax, all for a few bucks. You probably can generally presume where I'm going with this. Those rainbow foams may be fun. I don't know what the hell is in them. So that is why we introduced our own car wash soap, just to minimize any potential for that. And then likewise, any of the sealants that they're selling you for after you've washed, Who knows exactly what those are. It might be water for all of 5 minutes, but
Yeah, and a lot of times there's also going to be contaminant in the lines from the other products you're using and whatnot. I typically just stick just to the high pressure rinse. Some washes will have a spot-free rinse that can be helpful because that'll switch to a deionized water. Depends on the coin-op car wash, though. Not all of them have that. The one we were at yesterday did not have that.
it also depends on how recently they changed their filtration and how current that deionization system is. So there's a lot of variables that can come into play. If you roll into a coin-op thinking you're going to get a Concord detail, you're just misinformed. But there is a great way to do that. And again, I think the biggest thing for both of us, we were extremely happy with the result. It was clear that we took an extremely dirty car, made it very nice and clean, had some great results from our pre-soak, had some great results from our post-wash, pre-rinse treatment, and our drying as well. So next time we do it, we'll be in a more controlled environment, but we're really trying to push the boundary of that live format, engage you guys more. So yeah, unless there's anything else I missed.
The only other thing I was going to say, if you did watch the live yesterday, keep in mind, I think the live was about 35 minutes long. A normal process at your coin-op with just you doing it and not talking to a camera is not going to take quite 35 minutes. You'll be a little closer to 20 minutes long. So, 10 to 15 bucks at most coin-op car washes will get you about 15 to 20 minutes of run time with the water and all of the other things there. So.
Yeah, you are on the clock, right? So you kind of work a little faster just by nature. And if somebody's honking at you, they weren't honking at us, but they were very curious as to why there were 4 guys milling about one car and taking so dang long. But again, thank you guys for your understanding. We really want to put out the best content for you and also educate you in whatever scenario you're dealing with. So long story short, coin-op car washes, they're a great option. If you minimize those variables that you can't control and bring your own equipment, you may get some weird looks from some people, but your car is going to be better off.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you for watching. Keep tuned for more. If you have any suggestions for more live topics, please comment below. If you have any further follow-up questions on using a coin-op car wash properly, again, comment below. We'll respond to them. And look for more live events in the future.
Yeah, let us know what products you use if you ever wash your car at the coin-op car wash.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks again, and stay tuned for more. Have fun in your garage.
Have fun in your garage.